We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, Dr. Sayegh, our tourism expert. It's a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Let me start by asking you, could you tell us a bit about this new archaeological discovery, specifically in the area where it has been located?
Well, actually, this discovery for Queen Hatshepsut's temple, Luxor, of course, has made a significant archaeological achievement for Egypt. That was a result of 3 years of scientific research. And from there, we discovered a beautiful colored relief that has illuminated the history of Egypt during the 18th century, and it reflects evidence for the claims that Tutmosis III has assassinated Hatshepsut, because we can see through that discovery the restoration that has been made by Tutmosis III for the temple, and the work that has been done in the zone has discovered also tombs from the Middle and the 7th dynasty. So from there, we consider that this valley did exist before the work of Hatshepsut and Tutmosis III, and both of them has made a reuse for constructing the temple.
Right. Tell me a bit about some of the most, important features of this new discovery, and how did work in the specific area start, sir?
Well, actually, this discovery, let's say, it's a part of a continuous work that has been done a long time ago from the Polish exhibition. Poland has a big team working over there, and they did always very good results. And that discovery specifically has remarkably showed preserved relief, and it showed uncovered relief that retain vivid colors and intricate details, showcasing scenes from the temple that were part of the Queen's legacy in ancient Egypt art and architecture. Also, that discovery has a historical revision. As we can see, evidence confirms that Tutmosis III did not assassinate Hatshepsut, but rather contributed to preserving and restoring her temple, reshaping our understanding of their historical relationship. Also, we can see the reuse of tombs, because this site also revealed tombs from earlier periods, indicating that the valley was repurposed for Hatshepsut's monumental construction.
Right.
So these features highlighted the site architectural and historical importance, offering new insights into Egypt's 18th dynasty and the role of Queen Hatshepsut in the new kingdom.
Absolutely. Sir, now Luxor has turned into quite a great museum, or open museum as we like to call it. What are some of the most important monuments that have been recently uncovered in this specific region in Egypt?
Well, Luxor, let's say, is a real open museum.
Yes.
And over there, wherever you will do work, you will discover stuff. I mean, whenever we have a foreign exhibition coming to Egypt, like university or college or academy or museum, with whom we have excellent and good relationships, we'll let them work in areas like a zone where discovery is very easy. Because when you have a temple like Karnak, like Valley of the Kings, usually it's surrounded by zones, archaeological zones, just covered with sand. So once you start to dig, for sure you will be able to continue the history of the zone and to bring more knowledge. And it's like a compensation plan for someone who did a lot of PhDs and work and effort for the history of Egypt. From there, we can say that Luxor is rich, and it's really to the point that we made at Karnak Temple what we call the open-air museum.
Right.
And at the open air that is situated in that northwestern corner of the temple of Amun-Ra, over there we can see the reconstruction of structures that were, let's say, dismantled and buried within the complex over time. Like, for example, notable shrines that will include the chapel, the red chapel of Hatshepsut, the white chapel of Senusert, the calcite shrine of Amenhotep II, the bark shrine of Thutmose III, the chapel of Amenhotep I, and the bark chapel of Thutmose IV.
Right.
So these structures offer insights into the architectural innovations and religious practices of ancient Egypt. So also, if you visit one day the Luxor Museum that we established since 1975, you will discover over there in his 2 levels and the ramp that is connecting the 2 floors, you will discover all the Theban area. So over there, you will see the granite statues of our kings, queens, and the high status officials who have left their image in the Theban temples. Also, you can see the house's grave goods from the tombs of the 18th century, like from time of Tutankhamun, and the beauty of the collection of the 26 New Kingdom statue discovered in what we call Cachette of Luxor Temple, 1989 and 2004. We have also the royal mummies of pharaohs like Ahmose I, Ramses I. So from there, the visitor, when he goes to our open-air museum,
right,
or Luxor Museum, he can see how we have been able to make the reconstruction, like the wall of Akhenaten, in the Temple of Karnak, a lot of features and a lot of work that shows the huge, let's say, archaeological importance and history of it.
Absolutely. Finally, let me ask you, how are some of the areas that are being explored or excavated, being selected? What are the bases of such selections? And how do such new discoveries really, encourage tourists, especially enthusiasts about ancient Egyptian civilization, to, return and visit once again to see all the new discoveries in Egypt?
Well, when we select an area to explore, as we are talking of Luxor, so the process will depend on the interest, the time, the availability, and the historical or cultural aspects that we wish to experience.
Right.
For example, first of all, we have to define the interest. Will it be ancient temples and monuments, like we will be focusing on iconic sites, such as Karnak Temple, Luxor, the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queens? Or are we working for our museums and the visits, or are we looking just for cultural exploration? Also, we have to prioritize, like, let's say, we base, everything on time.
Yes.
How many years we'll be able to work on the zone. We have to focus on the uniqueness, like the historical importance, like the architectural marvels that could be discovered. We work a lot on the accessibility to the zone. Will it be easy access or challenging? So we work a lot on that to choose a zone to work on.
Right. Mr. Simon Sayegh, our tourism expert, I'd like to thank you very, very much for your time, sir, and for your insight and for joining us on today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and we'll be back for our final segment, taking a look at the exciting world of sports. Do stay tuned.